I'm going to talk to you today about what earnest money is, so stick around and I'll tell you more about that. Welcome, Elizabeth Williams here, your residential mortgage expert with MegaStar Financial, America's most trusted mortgage company. So what is earnest money? Earnest money is basically a deposit that you put toward the house that you're going to purchase. The earnest money assures the seller that you're serious about buying the house, and the amount is determined usually by the seller or the seller's agent. In Colorado, when you go under contract for your house, you will be expected to give earnest money, and that earnest money will be given to the title company. The title company is a go-between between the buyer and the seller and has no interest in the transaction. The title company will cash the check for the earnest money, but will hold it until your closing. If you as the buyer do something that is in breach of your contract, then the seller will get to keep your earnest money. For example, if you ask to withdraw the contract outside of the terms within the contract or the dates that are given to you. If the seller does something that is in breach of the contract, then the buyer gets to keep the earnest money. If both parties mutually agree to terminate the contract, then the buyer gets to keep the earnest money. If you decide to terminate the contract within the dates in your contract, then you, the buyer, get to keep the earnest money. If everything goes well and you go to closing, that earnest money is typically a deposit towards your closing costs and your down payment. If you're getting a loan, the lender will need to determine that that earnest money came from an acceptable source in order for that to be a deposit towards your down payment or closing costs. As long as that's determined, then your amount for closing will reduce by the amount of the earnest money. So for example, if you need $25,000 for closing costs and down payment, and you put a $5,000 earnest money check, then your amount at closing would reduce by $20,000. You'd give the $5,000 up front to the title company, they would cash the check and hold it, and then at closing you would only need $20,000. If you have any questions about this or anything else, I'd love to connect. Please reach out. And as always, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you know anybody that would find this information useful, please consider sharing it. Thank you so much. I look forward to connecting soon.